So I'm headed up towards, I'm actually headed up towards Forest Park. We're wrapping up a deck system up there that I found about a month ago. Had several bad boards. The customers, they actually contacted every review. This is what the guy told me. He's like, man, I contacted every review that you had on the Kong Armor Facebook page. And he said that every person that he contacted said that they absolutely recommend us and they love the fact that they chose us to do their decks. He said every person that I contacted. Not one person said one bad thing. It's like, wow, really? It's kind of shocked me. And not because we do bad work or anything. It just shocked me, right? I was like, wow, not one person said one bad thing, like nothing. It's like, no, man, everybody super loves your company, and it's like, man, that's cool. But I'm headed up here. You know, they're tired of taking care of their deck system. They're tired of painting it every year or every other year, and they're just looking for something a little bit tougher. And we got them covered. We got them covered with that. So here we are. This is the Forest Park deck. When I found this deck, every time I'm on camera, you're gonna have something like this going on. Every time. It doesn't make a difference where I'm at. There's something loud in the background. A chainsaw, a dude weed eating, a dude landing a plane, a dude doing something, right? So he thinks I'm videotaping him right now. You don't realize that my camera's pointing forward. He's giving me evil eye. Anyways, this deck system here behind me, when I found it a few days ago, scratch that, not a few days ago, this was a few weeks ago. It needed several planks replaced, had board rot, mildew growth, just disintegrating paint. It was like a disintegrating stain that was on it, right? Let's take a look at it. It's ultra beautiful now. We'll replace several planks in here. And now we're coming over and we're just engulfing its encapsulation, working on filling in as many cracks and gaps and nail and screw heads as possible. So just some crap like these, checking in post. We'll typically fill this in for the customer with this epoxy system, and this epoxy system will cure up harder than concrete when it cures. And what it does is it keeps water from getting down in there and staying down in there long term. And boy, this stuff is hard to dispense while you're holding the camera. I bet I have enough left after I do that. Watch here. Just take a flat edge. Just enough to fill in that crack. That's it. All we're doing, wiping off the excess. Once we coat that, it'll be all locked down where water can't get in there. And then with your excess that you have, you can come in and do these little tiny ones, right? So now I'm headed to Loveland. And this is an interesting project. I'll show you guys when we get there. Super cool. Essentially like $1 million home. I mean, this home is like absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And the deck system, he's got a it's a composite floor deck system, and his deck posts are stacked creek stone. Wait, just wait, I'll show you guys when I get. So Thomas, tell me about, and I won't put you on video, but tell me about everything that you want done here specifically.
Basically that band board, basically anything that is raw wood.
You want done?
I want done.
Okay.
Basically just try to give it a more finished appearance and look.
Okay. So the bottom side of the composite,
yeah,
all that, we're doing all that right, and then we're doing all the joist. We're doing the band board. We're doing the band board on the back side here.
Yep.
All super sharp and cut in nice and pretty. No hitting the brick, right?
Right.
Thick layers. All uniform, nice. No dripping or any ugly, nasty stuff. We want to do this, the ledger board, correct, encapsulate those bolts and everything and give it a nice thick and full-bodied appearance.
Yep.
Water, basically we're water locking all this.
Exactly.
Okay. I like that. That's a good idea to me. You guys can see how lovely this deck system is. It's very pretty. So the key here is to be very careful, especially down here at the bottom. When we come in here, we need to drop all of this off, every single ounce of it with drops. Okay, these, any type of spraying or anything that's done, these need to be wrapped so that they don't get coating on them. You don't want those coated. I wouldn't think so, right? They're super pretty, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Shit, that's got concrete board on underneath. I come from a construction background. Those are framed right.
Yeah, no, they're yeah, they're nice,
got
man.
More cross bracing in them so they didn't warp them. Those stones pop off.
Those they cost a pretty penny, I bet.
Yeah.
That ain't no joke. I know decks, and I know that costs a good chunk. Cool, man. Now I'm at where I'm at. We were just in, where were we? Where were we at? Milford? Loveland? Forest Park? I think we were all over up there, right? Now we're towards like the end of the day now, and I'm here at the river deck. It's called the river deck because, well, we're sitting right on the Ohio River. If I throw a stone through those woods right there, and I might be able to walk up here and show y'all. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. Anyways, the river is right through that holler. You see that? You see that opening in the trees there? That's actually the river. It's right there. It's super close. But the reason I'm here is because of a project that we're calling the river deck. It's a deck rescue painting project. It's this deck system right here. This is one of the funnier stories. My customer reached out to me last year and wanted help, and I kind of gave her sort of a ballpark cost to rescue a deck system like this, and she was like, ha ha ha, maybe if I hit the lottery, right? And then this year she, I guess, was face down with replacing it, right? And she's seen the true cost of replacing it, and she contacted me and was like, look, I was wrong, you were right. Can you please help me? Right? And so deck rescue painting here with Kong armor, the world's toughest deck armor, is going to save her about 15 grand. Legitimately, it's going to save her about $15,000. This deck was in horrid condition. We talk about maximum amount of rotten boards that you can have before you talk about just wiping the slate clean, right? Rotten band boards, rotten deck boards, rotten spindles, rotten cap rails, loose fasteners everywhere, rotten side planks on the steps. This area right here was covered with side planks that kind of blocked those steps in, held water. They were rotten. And there's some other modifications that we made to it, right? It's close to being done. I'm not taking you up there and showing you yet because it's not completely 1,000,000% resurfaced. We have media scheduled here tomorrow. So tomorrow's a media day on this deck system where we'll go through, we'll do our final photo shoot. We'll do the whole thing where I brag and brag and brag about how we saved them money, and the truth, the reality is, here at this particular project, a bit of a sneak peek. We've had a little bit of a water situation here kind of sneak up on us, and some things that we got to fix. But an older deck system, I'll insert a picture so you see what it did look like, what it looks like now. It's, you know, it's a world of difference, and this ain't done yet, and still a little bit of thickness that's going to be added to this. So now I'm headed, froggy, there's a froggy in this little pond. There's some koi in there too, look. Koi deck number 2. We've already had a koi deck this year. We need polarized, man. We need polarized. I want you to tell everybody how far gone this deck system was when you found it.
Oh, when I got to this deck system, anybody else would have probably wanted to tear it down and rebuild it. It was pretty bad.
How many boards did you replace?
Total probably 15, 16 boards.
Band boards, deck boards, cap rails,
spindles, handrails, all kinds of boards.
What are you doing right now?
I overlooked this crack here, and now I'm just filling it up with some epoxy.
Silverback epoxy?
Silverback, yes sir. Sometimes I get moving real fast, and I move on from one thing to the next too quick. So.
Good job. You've done a good job, buddy. I'll see you later, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Stud. As far as doing decks is concerned, Jeremy has turned out to be a stud, man. I kept him close to me. His situation was a little bit different than most of these guys, where you know, they got where they come in with a crew, and you know, they're set in their ways. Jeremy's always been open, receptive of how to receptive of learning, and more specifically really receptive of learning the trade secrets that I've developed to restore deck systems and restore them for a lifetime. He's always been very, very open to it, and he's become a stud as far as restoring decks are concerned. Man, he's come a really long way, really long way. He's done a great job on the river deck, and I'm super proud of him. See you guys at Foster. We're headed to Foster.
Creek and back up.
Yeah, That's very
Got
pretty.
me a pond down there, got fish in it.
So you got bass in it?
Got some bass, got crappie.
Cat, you got any catfish down
Got
there?
a few little ones.
Kind of little tiny ones?
My neighbor's got a little pond there. He's got a lot of problems.
This was out to AA down here. Way down AA highway. Came out here to, just out there at that pool deck, that clip that you guys just seen. It's a customer of mine, good customer of mine. It's one of his relatives that he referred me to. And he said to me, he said, Andy, I like the way you did this person's deck, and I like the way you did that person's deck. And you know, when I first started this, really understanding that people, they truly want nice things. And in your trade, in your craft, if you go above and beyond what the guy that's going above and beyond does, right? So if you drive quality to the point, not 110%, you take it beyond that and really look for the best interest of your customer, and really just go what I call berserk and doing a good job, you'll be sought out. You'll be sought out. And that was my and that was my goal. And now my goal, it's changed a little bit. There's still that, but now my company's gotten to a point where it's grown beyond me. It's bigger than me. The entity itself is bigger than I ever thought it would ever be, and it's bigger than me. And so now my goal is to build processes and procedures that get others to do this. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're moving into Georgetown and headed towards Lexington and expanding, and one customer at a time, one deck at a time. Bringing them lifetime protection. Right? That's the goal. And if we focus on that, we'll be successful.